I have to tell you about ExaBrain. I have to tell you about flops. Not movie flops, but flops. Flops. And flops are a floating point operations per second. Don't have to remember it. Floating point operations per second. And flops is how you measure a computer's speed and intelligence. Exaflops, where exa is quintillion. Quintillion is a billion, and that is 18 zeros or 24 zeros, depending on which part of the world you are. Exaflops is your ability to form, process connections. Because what is a computer? At the end of the day, a computer is this complete amalgamation of various wirings, right? This code, that code, working with that algorithm, working with this maths, working with this calculus. This set of communication between connections and how fast it happens is flops. Exaflops is possible only with supercomputers. And right now, I think there are maybe only 1 or 2 supercomputers in the world. The brain is definitely a supercomputer. Forming billion, please, operations per second. We don't know anything else except light that can operate at this speed. Right? It's incomprehensible. Billion operations per second. How cool is that, right? So the first time when I understood exaflops and I understood exaflops brain, and I was doing the decrees with exaflops brain, but my mind, because that's what memory does, right? My mind kept saying, this movie is a flop. This flop means some movie is a flop. Like the flops and the technicality and the engineering terminology was not fully getting through. So I started working with just ExaBrain, and that worked well as well. For those of you all who are comfortable with the word flops, I'm going to first do it with flops, and then I'm going to do it with exa, and you see, because you may not have this disruption taking place. I'm way more comfortable with exaflops now, because now, and that's the other thing about memory, right? You can always create fresh ones. So in looking at flops, in looking at the abbreviation, full form of flops, it's a little easier. I'm not immediately thinking, which movie was a flop here? And flops, by the way, Shilpa on our team, first time she heard it, she immediately said, oh, you mean like a floppy disk? And I said, of course, that's exactly what it is. It's like a floppy disk. So the exaflops brain is your most incredible brain. It's your most amazing brain. Because what do you need for love?
The brain to keep evolving.
Need a brain that is continuously evolving. What happens as life goes on is that we don't realize that our brain power is diminishing. We're not remembering stuff. The more that we have dealt with, you know what? Park this, okay? Exaflops. Everybody's comfortable with exaflops? Everybody knows what exaflops is? Yes? Put this aside for a moment and tell me, what is the biggest separator between crown, chakra, and you? What causes the maximum distance?
Okay. While those answers come in, K is written in, no, I don't. Your question about, is everybody comfortable with, understands or is comfortable with
exaflops? So I'm going to say it again. So flops is your operational speed per second. Exa means billion, which means you are capable, you are not, your brain is capable of doing billion operations per second. Like it's that complex, it's that advanced, it's that evolved. So the exaflops is the terminology we're going to be using for the brain, and in turn, it will be used for love.